Hi, guys. Thank you for getting on tonight. Thank you for watching. Tonight we have a Zoom with Skylar Lambert, our presidential upline. Skylar, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
She's just okay. We're just gonna go over some stuff on, some questions that you guys have had and some great tips and tricks from Skylar. She is the bomb. So, Skylar, take it away.
Okay, so I'm Skylar Lambert. I'm sure you guys know me. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about my history with It Works and why I got started and just some things that I think would help you guys with your businesses and how to stay motivated and how to stay consistent and that kind of thing. So I want to talk to you first about my history with It Works. When I first got into this business, I wasn't a die-hard It Works girl. I was not go, go, go like I am now. I wasn't, super pumped up about the opportunity. I didn't know what I had my hands on. And I really wasn't ready to be a business owner. I wasn't ready for the commitment. I wasn't ready to coach people, to train people. I most certainly wasn't ready to speak to people like I am now. These are all things that I've kind of grown into as I went. And I just really never planned on this going anywhere when I signed up. I literally signed up thinking that my mom was going to build a business under me and I would make enough money to earn my product because I love the Defining Gel and I love the wraps. And I quickly found out that wasn't the case. She flat out told me, I'm not building your business for you. So I had to do it on my own. And when I figured out that this company and this opportunity really was worth something and it was worth giving it a shot, I kind of just took off. And back then, I was going to school to be a teacher, and I really ultimately wanted to own my own childcare center. I didn't want to work directly with children. I wanted to oversee a childcare center, but I had to go to school for early childhood education to do that. And I was just spinning my wheels in the business, in the educational system, I guess you could say. Because I had went to Ivy Tech for 3 years full time, and my third year I figured out that my advisors had me on 3 different career paths. So I was taking about, I took 7 classes that I didn't need for my career path. And I never really shared that with people, but it was very frustrating to know that I wasted a lot of time in college and I had nothing to show for it. And I had planned on getting my associate's degree and then transferring to get my bachelor's. But during that time, I was substitute teaching in a pretty rough area. I mean, a lot of people would think, the people that live up here in Indianapolis, where I live now, wouldn't think it was a rough area, but coming from a small town of Spencer, Indiana, when you go from living in a very small town to a school where you are neighbors with your principal, it's like a complete culture shock working in the school system. And I was a young mother, so I was pregnant at the time, and I was working in a high school, and on a daily basis got accused of being a 16-year-old pregnant girl and caught in the hallway and yelled at and talked to like a child. I mean, it was just not a fun position to be in. And this is while I'm starting my business. So I could have used all those stressors as an excuse. I mean, I was a mother of a 2-year-old, a newborn. I was working full-time subbing, 4 to 5 days a week, working for teachers that didn't respect me, didn't give me lesson plans. I mean, being a substitute teacher is a hard job. And some of you might know that, but it's like the teacher's supposed to give you a lesson plan, and sometimes they don't, and you just have to figure out how to help these kids that they just throw at you. And sometimes I would be in those classes for anywhere from 8 to 16 weeks because the teacher would just dip out for months. So it just wasn't the ideal situation, and coming into that kind of a environment and like figuring out this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, I did not want anything to do with that. I quickly learned I wasn't a kid person, which is weird because I used to be, but I think that kind of sucked the kid person out of me. And when I say kid person, I mean like other people's kids. Like, I wanted to be able to raise my own kids. I wanted to be able to teach them and not have to worry about trying to retrain all these kids that were corrupted by Indianapolis, Indiana. So it was very difficult, very stressful. I needed something else. And when this opportunity came to me, it took me a couple months to figure out that this was my out, that I wasn't going to have to be a teacher. I mean, imagine going to school for 3 years, not having anything to show for it, and not wanting to do what you were going to school for anymore. It was scary because I knew I either had to finish and be miserable the rest of my life, or I had to switch and be stuck in school another 4 years. So I just kind of started catching on to other people and what they were doing in the business. I started following other leaders, and I quickly realized that I could do this. I knew that I could do it if they could do it. These people were just normal people. They were teachers. They were, people that worked in retail. They were people that worked at restaurants. I mean, it wasn't anything like a brain surgeon or, a psychologist. It was normal people that I was following. And so I just kind of went after it. And I tell people I was ignorance on fire because I didn't know what I was doing. I have no history in sales. I'm not a convincing person. You guys might think I am now, but I was the most awkward girl ever. Like, I rarely made eye contact with people. I still don't talk to people when I'm out in public. I'm weird. And I just wasn't like this super outgoing salesy woman. So I just figured I couldn't do it. And plus I had tried another company before and it was a complete bust, and I wasted almost $400 on a kit. So when I started, the only thing that kept me going was the fact that I had a partner, and B, a why. And if I wouldn't have had a partner and a why, I would not be here today. I had no upline. So my mom signed up before me, but you can't call her my upline because we literally started within days apart and we both knew nothing. So it was like she was my partner. And that's something that you need in this business, is a partner, whether that be someone in your downline, your upline, your sideline, it doesn't matter. You need someone that's going to hold your hand and say, let's do this together. And that's what we did. We bounced ideas off of each other. We learned together. We went to events together. When the other person was down, if she was down, I pulled her up. If I was down, she pulled me up. That's just the way it was. And I'm very thankful that I had that support from my mom, and that she had that support from me, because both of us have wanted to quit a million times. I can honestly tell you that, and neither one of us have, and that's why we are where we are today. The why was the very most important part. Discovering my why was like discovering gold, because I knew that I couldn't give up on my why. My why was so strong and ingrained into my brain that I couldn't wake up without thinking about it. And that's the kind of why that you need in this business. Your why can't be, well, I need some extra money. It has to be so much more than that, you guys. I needed extra money because I was sick of feeling like the reason my family was floundering and suffering. And I truly felt that way. I felt like since I couldn't work while I was pregnant, I was in this huge hole that I couldn't get out of. And I had to be the one to fix it because I had to prove to myself that I could do it. I wanted to be able to give my kids a Christmas. My mom and dad were SANTA the whole time that Ada was a little girl, because I couldn't afford it. I couldn't be Santa Claus. I literally would buy like 2 things. And I wanted more for my family than that. And so that's my why. My why was my family, my children, and also to have a 3rd child, and that's what we accomplished this year. It was our final goal that we had for our business. We conquered that in 4 years. So your why has to be the most important thing ever. And I discovered it when someone looked at me and said, is your why strong enough to make you cry? And I dug until I figured out it wasn't just about extra money. It was about my babies. And they said, okay, could you ever look at your babies and tell them you just weren't good enough for me to fight for you? You weren't, the urge wasn't there for me to actually go out and bust my butt for you. I'm sorry, it wasn't worth it for you. I could never, ever, ever, ever say that to them. And so there was no way I could ever quit. There's still no way I could ever quit, because I cannot go upstairs and wake them up and say, I'm sorry, you weren't worth it to me, to keep fighting. And discovering my why was the very most important thing that set me on fire for my business. So those are the two things that I suggest you do is find a partner and find your why, and tell your partner your why so that you can't give up. And if you try to give up, your partner is going to pull you up and say, no, you're not quitting on me and you're not quitting on your family. You're not quitting on your why. Whatever your why may be. Your why might be something different. I don't know. But the majority of us that are, wives or mothers or soon-to-be mothers or whatever, that is our why. That's what we live for. And that is like an instinct in me that I can't even let go of. So there's no way that I could ever not push for my kids and my family. So I want to talk to you guys about jumping the funk, because I know like this time of year is kind of the funky part of the year where people start getting worn out. They get tired. They get bored a little bit. Kids are back in school. You've had a busy summer. There's so many things that could get in the way of you staying motivated or staying consistent. And right now it's kind of in that window where things are slowing down from the summer, but you've got the school year. So you're trying to figure out, do I really want to work this business? Do I really want to give it my all? Is this the time? And let me tell you, it is, because the momentum is crazy right now. You have to be willing to jump the funk. And nobody can make you jump the funk. I can't convince you to jump the funk. Brooklyn can't convince you to jump the funk. Nobody can convince you to jump the funk. You have to decide right this very second that you are absolutely done with complacency, with being content, with just scooting by on the seat of your pants. Like, you guys have to decide right now that you're done with mediocrity and you're ready to fight for this. And before we can even go anywhere else at all with this Zoom, I want you to just think about that right now. Like, are you ready to turn over a new leaf and fight for your kids or fight for your spouse or fight for yourself? Whatever it may be, I want you guys to like completely drop all the excuses right now and just go for it. So the first thing that you need to do to get out of this like weird funk that you're in is you need to have a party. You don't have to make it a relaunch party. You don't have to get all complicated with it. You don't have to have tablecloth and green stuff and streamers and balloons. All you need to do is have a party. And what is a party? You have a few friends over to try a wrap. That's it. You need bottled water. You need a wrap. You need saran wrap and some brochures. And you have a party. It's that easy. You don't need anything else. If you want, you could ask a friend if they would have a party for you. And that's what I do, because literally every time I have a party here, nobody comes because they feel like probably they're obligated to buy something. But when you ask a friend to do it, people actually want to go because they don't feel obligated. So have a party and just start posting again. I mean, if you start posting now, a week from now, you're going to be very impressed with how much your consistency is paid off in just 1 week. I promise you, you'll at least have one new potential by the end of the week, if not more. You have to stay consistent with it, though, because if you start posting this week and you don't post a single thing next week, everyone's just going to think, well, she kind of does it. Pardon my French. She half-asses it, and she's just not gung-ho about it. She's not serious about it, so I don't want to sign up under her. I want to sign up under someone more serious. Your audience is watching you, and your stage is your Facebook. That is your platform. That is where the world sees you, and you have to stay consistent on Facebook or whatever social media platform you're using. The third thing is reach out and ask for help. There is nothing wrong with you asking for help. And when I'm talking about help, I'm talking about from your family and friends. And I know a lot of you are going to say, I do not want to ask my family and friends because they're not supportive of anything I do. And I completely understand that, because literally I have lost family because I'm in this business. I have lost friends because I'm in this business. I understand 100%, but there's always that one person that will do anything for you, and I need you to think of that person, and I need you to ask them to have a party for you. That's all you got to do. Ask them to have a party. Hey, will you please do me a favor? You don't have to buy a single thing from me. All you have to do is just get me in front of some friends and family. Please. I need to get my business off the ground, and I know you'll support me. You're my best friend, or you're my best cousin, or you're my mom, whatever. And I know that no matter what, even if you don't agree with what I'm doing or you don't think it's going to go anywhere, that you will support me in what I do. Get emotional with it. Be real with them. Tell them why you want to start this. Tell them, I want to fight for my family. I want more for my family. I want to help my husband pay the bills so he isn't working so many hours every week. I want him home with me. Tell them your why. It's okay to be real. Reach out and ask. Reach out and ask your upline to help you if you need help. Reach out and ask a sideline. Reach out and ask a downline. It doesn't matter. Just ask. Stop sitting around and waiting for it to happen and wondering when the money's going to fall from the money tree, and get some initiative behind you and ask for help. That's all you got to do. You also have to stay motivated. Once you get out of this funk, you have to stay motivated. And everyone, the biggest question I always get is, how do I motivate myself? How do I motivate my team? How do I motivate these people? Stop trying to figure out how to motivate everybody and just plug in. That's all you have to do. When you plug in, your team's going to plug in. Plug into the corporate calls on Sunday night. Plug into the corporate calls tonight. There's corporate calls on Mondays. There's corporate calls on Tuesdays. If you are driving in your car and you have a 45-minute drive ahead of you, turn on YouTube and look up Cami Dempsey and hit play on any of her videos. That will inspire you. That will motivate you. That will get your business off the ground. That is what you have to do. You have to stay motivated by plugging in and pouring into yourself. I am at the top of my business per se. I don't have anybody that is directly pouring into me. So I get drained a lot because I have 9,500 people that I have to constantly pour into every day, whereas a lot of people have the luxury of having upline support and having these things. So I have to do things to motivate myself. I can't just call my upline on the phone and ask for help. You guys have that awesome luxury. So please, please take advantage of that. But also know that it's okay to learn from other leaders, and you need to get on YouTube or get on the training videos or get on the corporate calls and plug in and get into that exciting momentum. Just plug into it. I mean, that's all you got to do. How do you stay motivated? You fill yourself with positive information. You fill yourself with knowledge. You're never above learning. So make sure you stay motivated. And like I said before, make sure you stay consistent, because if I were to quit working halfway through the year, people would think that I quit at Works. I would probably get messages asking if I quit at Works. And there's several people out there on my team that I'll message and say, hey, did you quit at Works? And they're like, no, why? I'm like, well, I haven't seen you post about it. I haven't seen you talk about it. I haven't seen you at a meeting. I haven't seen you on a Zoom. I'm just wondering if you quit, because it looks like you quit. And if I think you quit, your audience thinks you quit too. You have to stay consistent. And whatever you do in the month of September is going to pay off in October. Whatever you do in October is going to pay off in November. That's the crazy thing about this business, is it's not like you're working September for September. You're working for that October paycheck, that paycheck you're going to get in October. But also, whatever you do this month carries over because of the residual income and the auto ships that run. So if you're busting tail in September, you're going to reap the benefits in October. But if you're still busting tail in October, think about how great your November is going to be, and how great your Christmas in December is going to be, and how great your New Year's is going to be. You have to be able to stay consistent. It does not mean that you have to work hard every single day. That is not what consistency is. Consistency is doing something for your business every single day. I'm not saying just reach out to one person. I'm saying do something for your business every day that is productive and income producing, and that will get you to where you want to be in the end. And don't quit. Don't just stop working, because once you get out of that consistency, that frame of mind, it's hard to get back into the momentum and get back into the swing of things. And that's something that I've been struggling with personally. I'm sure you guys know I've had a really crazy year being pregnant, and I had a very difficult pregnancy, in and out of the hospital. My baby had SVT, which is his heart rate was 260 beats per minute, which is super duper high. We thought something bad would happen to him. I mean, it was just very scary. I had gestational diabetes. I had incompetent cervix. I had a cerclage. Like, I could go on and on. This pregnancy, I thought would be the death of me. And I I kind of let it get in the way of my business. I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, because it would have been very hard not to let it get in the way, but I still worked my business, but I couldn't get out there and I wasn't excited anymore. And I let my circumstances and the toll it was taking on my body take a toll on my business and my consistency. I would wake up and I'd lay around all day and kind of get depressed and not do anything when I could have easily been on my computer plugging in, staying inspired. And I just didn't feel like it. I didn't feel good. And because of that, I'm paying for it now. I'm trying to pick up those pieces. And, that's something that is hard to talk about for me, because I went hard with this business for 4 years straight, and having to back off even just a little bit was hard, and I did it, and I wish I wouldn't have. So I can tell you from personal experience that it is very hard to get back in the swing of things when you're used to being out of the momentum. It was hard when I came home from the hospital and I thought to myself, I have to get up and walk in my office. I haven't sat down in my office in 3 months. I have to go in there and dust off my picture frames and clean up my desk and throw away all the old cups and, get on my computer again and look at my Facebook that I haven't been on in days. I had to do that, and it was not easy walking in here and seeing this is like my trophy room, and coming in here and seeing dust all over everything and knowing that I hadn't been able to work as hard as I normally had been. It was hard. But I did it, and I'm doing it, and we're all doing this together. And once you get back in the swing of things, you have to make a vow to yourself that you're not going to ever let yourself go there ever again. Because once you get out, it's so hard to get back in. So those are that's what I had prepared for you guys tonight. I hope what I have said is helpful to you. Brooklyn actually had some questions that she said she wanted to ask me. So Brooklyn, you can go ahead and we'll go from there.
Okay, yeah. So online earlier on our chat, a few people had commented with some questions that they would like answered. So you kind of answered this throughout, but if you just kind of want to reiterate, what's a good way to relaunch the business, or just to get going again, to take those first steps?
Definitely have a party, and stop making a big deal about it and calling it a relaunch party, because that sounds super intimidating. Just have a party. That is you relaunching. That is you stepping out and, taking the initiative to get your business back off the ground again. And think about what you did that worked before. And if nothing has worked for you yet, then talk to your upline, because we might have been off the ground or, off the ground at one point and fallen back down or whatever. Your upline has good advice for you. So take advantage of that, and they'll help you brainstorm and figure out what you need to do to get back going again. And plug in. Please plug in. Get on the calls. Get excited. That's all you need in this business, is to be excited. It's really not complicated at all. It's only complicated when you make it complicated.
I'm just going to add to that a little bit. I think personally, one of the best ways to just kind of get remotivated would be to hop on the power hours. Skylar, you do them once a week. I know there's other people that do them. I am, of course, willing to do power hours with everyone. I absolutely love power hours, and I'll tell you why. I've become obsessed with them. Personally and honestly, when I'm getting on my phone to work my business, I get caught up in Facebook world. I get caught up in scrolling in people's lives. I get on Instagram to add people. I'll add people for 20 minutes. That's it's productive, but I'm not using my time wisely. I just kind of spin my wheels when I'm on my phone. It's no rhyme or reason to it, and I just get lost, and next thing I know it's 2 hours, 3 hours have went by, and I'm like, what the heck did I even do? What did I do that was actually really productive? So I like the power hours if you guys have not been on them, because they are just very concise, and they are very full force. You spend a few minutes working on Instagram, you spend a few minutes on Facebook, you message people on your chicken list, you add more people to your 100s list. You're just doing a variety of different things in a very short period of time. And me, I have trouble with staying, having attention, and just staying focused. So I get on these power hours. I've done probably 5 or 6, like through the team or through different leadership teams. And I'm telling you, it has really changed my business for August. I messaged a lot of people, like probably 30 to 40 plus people, about having parties. That is not something that I was doing because honestly, I was too scared to do it. And when you get on the power hours, you don't have time to think about being scared. You honestly, when you get on them, you don't know what you're in for. You don't know what activities you're going to be doing, which I think is the fun part, because you just don't have time to think or time to be scared. You just do it and you just take action. I also message people on my chickens list. I have never messaged anybody on my chicken list. They just sat there. I messaged like 6 people on my chicken list last month, and I have definitely 2 potential distributors, and a couple people said that they weren't sure if they were interested or not, but I put that, that bug in their head to start thinking about it. I planted tons and tons of seeds, and I seriously know 100% it was from the power hours. And when I'm not on the power hour, I have created my own power hours right here. So I can use these with you guys. I use them for myself every day. It's like, okay, what can I be doing for my business? I will pull out the sheet and I will literally time myself and I will complete every single one of these activities. And after the hour, I'm done. And then I just go on, living my life. And maybe later that night, I'll do another power hour just by myself. And I really feel that it has kept me very focused and very involved in, my business and just really putting it out there. So I highly encourage the power hours.
And I agree with that too. I actually just had somebody on my top 10 leadership group say that she got on and scheduled the power hours out. So like if you guys are doing power hours with Brooklyn and we're doing them on Team Dare to Dream, write those in your planners and revolve your week around them. This is like, these power hours seriously are so income producing. Like, it's crazy. Like, I look forward to sitting down and doing them because I know I'm going to get potentials out of it. It's crazy to know that you can walk into a room and sit down with your phone and come out with potentials every single time. And that's exactly what a power hour does.
It does. And it never fails. I've never walked away without a potential. And I've done the same thing. Like, I've added stuff on my phone, but I also bought at Walmart for like $1.50. One of these calendars. I did it for one of the leadership groups. They have a lot of activities and stuff going on. Although I have access from my phone and I saved a picture of it, I'm just more of a hands-on person. So I just got this to put in my office. And like the highlighted stuff, that's personal stuff. Like, I am building my whole entire schedule around power hours and plugging into my business. Like, that's what the highlighted stuff is. That's like personal stuff. So everything else, I'm just trying to build my life around that, like Skylar said. It's the best thing you can seriously do for your business.
And it's an hour out of 24.
Mm-hmm.
1 hour. That's it.
And it goes so fast. Like, I was over at Skylar's one night and we did 2 power hours back to back. And next thing you know, it's like, was that really 2 hours of our time? It did not feel like it at all.
So fun.
It was. And it's fun doing power hours with people because we just ate Sour Patch Kids and junk food and just laughed. But we were being extremely productive at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That's a win-win right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so next question. Since you are the queen of parties, can you give us some tips on how to book parties?
Yeah. So I ask people to have parties for me. That's all I do. I know it sounds crazy, but it works. Get it? Okay, so for real, I just message people and ask them to have parties for me. And I mean, they don't say no. I just say, hey, will you do me a favor? And I wait for them to respond before I say anything else. And usually the person's super caught off guard because I kind of go after acquaintances, like people from high school that I was inquiring with or, cheerleading with or anybody. And then they respond and ask me what the favor is. And I tell them, hey, I'm doing a challenge with my team and I'm trying to get some, you don't have to say wrap party if you don't want to. I'm trying to get some spa nights booked Would you be interested in hosting a free spa night? And I will wrap you for free. And if your friends want to wrap, they can wrap for $25 or whatever, however you want to word it. Also, I made a post that said free wraps, really big, and I tried to use super bright stuff because people are scrolling and they see the word free and it's really bright and super eye-catching, they're going to stop and comment. And it was a contest. Whoever commented would win something for free, would win a free wrap. And nobody knew how many winners there would be or who was going to win. I wasn't specific. I didn't say there was going to be one winner. I just said, who wants a free wrap? Comment below. I'm doing a contest tonight. And I had 48 comments. And I went back and told every single person that they won. Every single person. And I didn't do the out-of-state ones like that because the out-of-state ones I can't really go there and have a party for, but I also offer them to have an online party. And if they get loyal customers at their online party, I'll give them a free wrap. But the other people, the people that are local to me within driving distance, I messaged them and said, hey, you were my contest winner. And I made it specific so they know that they were a winner. I want them to feel like a winner. And I'm like, okay, you won my contest. You want a free spa night for you and 4 friends. You get to do a full-size wrap for free and try our facial line. This is just what I do. You don't have to do it exactly like this. And try our facial line for free, and your friends all get a free chin wrap. If they want to do a full-size wrap, I tell them this later on. I don't bombard them. I let them ask me questions, and then I say, if your friends want to try a full-size wrap, it's $25, but if they bring a friend, I'll take $5 off. So that's how I book parties. And the other day, I literally sat down after I made that post, and I booked 10 parties in 15 minutes. I'm not even kidding. So for the month of September, I have 10 parties booked so far. And I'm going to do it again tomorrow. I try not to do one every single day so people aren't like, really, what is she doing? How is she giving away this many free wraps? But that's how I book parties. And then the other thing is I never leave a party without booking a party. So make sure you just, if you ever take anything away from me in life, remember my mouth and my words, never ever leave a party without booking a party. It's super important, you guys, because parties are not just for you going there and getting a couple of customers. It's because it's like a continuous thing. You want to book a party from that party so that the goods keep coming. You're networking. You're going to that party to get introduced to their family and friends so that you'll meet their family and friends and you'll meet their family and friends. And it's just like this big network of people. That's the purpose of having a party. So I book parties off parties by offering free things like if you have sample tubes of defining gel or anything really. Like I went to the Dollar Tree and I got just random stuff like this $1 water bottle, this $1 basket, and I just fill it with stuff like green samples. You can give them a free exfoliating peel, let them try it for free, just stuff like that. Just anything that you can think of. Tell them if they book a party, they will get one of those and give it to them. And then also tell them if you want, you can do your second wrap for free just for having a party, and we'll do it the day of your party. People will do just about anything when you give them free stuff. So make sure you're booking parties off those parties.
So true. I wanted to add another thing. Skylar, myself, and other leaders in the company, you guys have probably seen the post, the Duck Duck Goose post. I mean, I think that's a really fun, interactive post to make. And what I did is the other day I did the Duck Duck Goose post, and I had over 1,000 comments. I have never had that many comments on my Facebook, probably collectively. So it was really productive for me. Granted, a lot of them were the same people, but I had people for like 5-6 hours straight playing this Duck Duck Goose game. And it was just crazy. And so I did that one day, and I went and I wrapped the girl the very next day. I got it done and I got it over with. And she was really excited. I gave her a product pamphlet, talked to her for a bit. And then, I had commented on the Duck Duck Goose, I'm going to do more giveaways. Stay tuned. Well, the next day I did the post that Skylar's talking about, free wraps with the bright green lettering. And I am in the process of booking 4 parties off of that one post because since so many people were engaged on my giveaway the day before, they saw my comment that I was going to do more giveaways. So they were kind of looking out for it. And I did this next post, and I'm booking 4 parties off of it. And I'm one that sometimes, honestly, I struggle to book parties. but it's just about getting out there and talking to people and just, I'm very yellow. So I was just being really red and blue, having some fun with it, but being assertive. And yeah, I'm in the process of booking 4 parties. So that's, just kind of playing off what she said.
And one more tip, when people are like, yeah, I'll get a date and get back to you, say, okay, well, I have these 3 dates available, and give them 3 dates. So if they say they want a weekend, say, okay, well, I have the 9th, the 11th, and the 17th available. Which one would you like? And wait for them to respond. Or if they say they want a weekday, I have the 7th, 14th, and 15th available. Which would you like? That always gives them a date so that they don't have to try to figure it out themselves.
Yes, and I've been doing that, and I'm getting more success by doing that as well. The next question is, how do you get loyal customers, and how do you retain them after the 3 months?
I get loyal customers by focusing on products. And when I focus on products, I get loyal customers. When I focus on the opportunity, I get distributors. So if I'm really in need of loyal customers for the month, I'll kind of switch gears and just start posting about a specific product that I love. Like my biggest one is stretch mark cream. My picture kind of went viral over the internet just from sharing. So it's just like I just kept sharing my pictures and sharing my posts. And even if you don't have to be pregnant to share the stretch mark cream. You can just use it and use your results. And I think that's what people liked the most was they saw my journey and saw me using it and actually wanted to try it because they saw me using it. So be a product of the product. That's the biggest way to get loyal customers, and consistently post and follow up with your people. And keeping customers, a lot of times customers only stay on for 3 months because you tell them you only have to stay on for 3 months. So try not to say that. Just say, like, you can stay on for 3 months, but if you stay on longer, you get these perks, and tell them about the 4-month free shipping and the 6-month perk points and the 12-month perk points and stuff like that. That helps retain your customers. And then also, those customers that you want to keep, you don't really want them to stay a customer, to be honest. You want to contact them and ask them to be a distributor because they're already spending that money every single month because they love the products. They might as well sell it and make some money too. So that's my advice for that.
I love that. Just a tip that I've been doing recently is I've just been getting out of my comfort zone, and I have just been talking to people more. I have been working at IHOP like 1 or 2 days a week, just serving, just for some extra cash or whatever, to help pay some health insurance. And I've signed up since I started there, like 3 or 4 loyal customers, and I'm starting to book parties off of these people as well. But I've just been talking to them. I mean, I go in there and I drink my greens. My husband's a GM there. He drinks his greens. All the loyal customers that I've gotten there have all gotten greens. So we all whip out our greens every single morning before we get the day started, and we chug them. And it kind of caught on like wildfire. Josh started doing it. I started doing it. Then, what's that green drink? What are you drinking? We'd tell them about it. Then they would sign up and get greens. And now it's just like everybody's ordering greens, and they just want it. And I've just been opening my mouth and just simply talking to them. I mean, I don't know. I'm not salesy about it. Most of them actually just come and approach me about it because they see my Facebook and they see that I consistently post. Also, I think live videos have helped me as well get some customers. I randomly make live videos. I usually just do them kind of impromptu because that's more fun for me. So, I mean, it could just be about life, about it works, but I always have people watching them, and I like to interact with people while I'm doing live videos and talk to them, give them shout outs. I was honestly terrified to do live videos before I did them. I did a 20-day video challenge last summer, and I thought that was fun, but I'm like, how can I do a live video? Like, I had to do like 5 or 6 takes of every single one of those videos. I'm telling you, it's really odd, but it is so much easier to do live videos. Like, you just don't even like feel that pressure. You just simply talk from the heart. And I don't know, like I'll see people and they'll be like, oh, I saw your video the other day. And I'm like, oh, cool, thanks. So, I mean, I've just been talking, just really stepping out of my comfort zone, doing live videos and just talking to people. the next question would be, how do you get distributors and how do you keep them in the business?
Same way. I just post about being a distributor and the opportunity and what it's done for me. And a lot of people say, well, it hasn't really done that much for me yet, but I know what it's going to do for me. Okay, then just talk about that. When I started, I didn't have a story, but I had a future, and I talked about it, and I talked about, I'm going to earn this $10,000 good bonus, which we had at the time, and I'm going to get out of debt, and that's going to buy me a new car that's going to fit my kids because I drove a piece of crap before. I told people, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm going to do, and they believed me because I knew I was going to do it. And when you're that passionate and you share those whys and you share those, goals with people, they believe you and they believe in you and they want to do what you're doing. How do I keep distributors? I don't keep anybody. I work with the people that want this and the people that are going to go to the top with me. And if they don't want it and they give me any kind of indication that they don't want it, I drop them like they're hot, because I cannot spend time on people that don't want this. I have so many people out there that really do want this and really do need it, so why would I waste my time and spin my wheels with the people that don't? I can't. I had to figure that out from the beginning. When I first got in this business, I built one of my really good friends to Ruby, and I thought she'd do great at this. She was a hairstylist. She was super outgoing, had a ton of friends. I just thought she'd be great at this. And I built her to Ruby, and she never signed up anybody except for her mom. And her mom never did anything either. And I love them both dearly, but I could not spend any more time on them. So I just stopped, and I started building more places. This whole business is about building. And I don't like it when people say I have to rebuild, because there's no rebuilding. You're building. That's what this is. This business is building. There's never going to be an opportunity or a time where you don't have to build. That's the name of the game. So you don't keep distributors. You just work with the ones that want to stay.
Yep. And a tip on how I've got some potentials this month during the Power Hour. When we're challenged to message people on our chickens list, I just say, hey, girl, I have been challenged by my upline to message people on my chicken list about the business. You're on my list. I've wanted to talk to you about the business for so long. You have a great personality. You're so bubbly. You light up a room. Or I just tell them whatever qualities that I truly see in them. I tell them that. And I just say, I see this in you. What do you think? And this month I had one girl respond, oh my gosh, that is so nice. I can't believe you just said all those really good things about me. Thank you. I'm glad that you think so highly of me. She's like, honestly, I'm interested in the business. I have been for a long time, but I just, I want to become a product to the product, and I want to try it first. And so let me become a loyal customer here in a few weeks, and then we'll go from there. Awesome. That's not a no. I didn't die, and I got a potential from it. My other one, this was a girl that wanted to be a loyal customer a while back, and I just kind of I stopped following up with her. But I just, out of the blue, she just came to my mind when I was challenged to do a chicken list, and I just talked to her. I never have discussed the opportunity with her. She's never liked an opportunity post. I mean, she's just been very quiet over my 3-year journey that she's been seeing me do this. And her response was something like, oh, well, that's so nice. She's like, you know what? That's really funny that you messaged me, because I've always been interested in the business. I was just too scared to ask. I'm not sure that I can sell stuff. And she just kind of expressed some fears. And I said, hey, you know what? I think you would be great at it. This is why. How about we get together and I can talk to you face to face, and I can kind of put some of those fears to rest for you. Would you mind doing that? And she's like, oh, no, that sounds like fun. Let's get together and catch up and chat about it at work. So I'm like, okay, great. So, I just stepped out of my comfort zone, and I just complimented people on why I truly feel that they would be good distributors in this company. And nobody has responded yet with anything negative. It's like, hey, thanks, I'm not interested, or, they are, and then I'll set up a time with them. So
that's awesome.
That's just it. Let's see. A last question would be, how do you get distributors to sign with you and not someone else? Like, how do you make yourself stand out?
Honestly, I'm just myself. And if people want to work with me, I want them to work with me. But if they don't mesh with me, I don't want them to work with me. And I mean, I don't offer incentives. I honestly just want to work with people that I could go on vacation with. Honestly, I mean, I spend a lot of time with people on my team. And I want to spend time with people that I get along with and the people that mesh well with me. And I've had tons of people say they're going to sign with me and they sign with someone else. And it still makes me furious. I'm going to be completely honest with you. But I really have to get myself in check because there's a reason they didn't sign with me. And it could have been God doing me a favor. I don't know. And it could have been God doing them a favor. Maybe they just wouldn't have worked well under my leadership style. And I have to be okay with that because I truly believe that people go where they're supposed to be. There's been people that I've worked with for months, just pouring into them and trying to get them to sign up or whatever. And they go off and sign with someone else and they come back and they ask me to train them. And they say, I need your help. I need you to teach me this. Can you help me with this? Can you come do my launch party? And this might sound kind of rude, but I say no, because you decided that you wanted this person to be your leader or whoever to be your leader. You didn't trust me to lead you, or you did it. I try to find a nice way to say it, like, I'm sorry, but I have to focus on my team. And you didn't want to join my team. That's perfectly fine, but I'm not able to help you. Now, if it's a quick question, I'll answer it, but I'm not going to go to your launch party. I'm not going to spend hours talking to you on the phone. I don't have time. I have to help the people that entrusted me to be their leader in this business. And I leave it at that. Some people will still, help them, and you reap what you sow. It's not going to kill you to help somebody that's not on your team. But I need people to know that my time is valuable and my time is important to me, and it should be important to them. And if they didn't want to be on my team, then they made that decision and they need to go to their leader. And I always try to refer them back to their leadership. So you don't have to be crappy about it, but and you don't need to hold a grudge or anything. You just have to get over it. Because if you stay stuck on that one person that was supposed to sign under you, think about how many other people you're letting fall through the cracks because you've wasted so much time and energy being mad that that one person said they were signing up under you, and you wasted your time and all that. You just get over it.
Yep. I mean, I kind of shared a similar story with Molly, just kind of about moving on. I had a distributor that signed up with me. We're really good friends. We love doing business together. And then she left to go to another company, and it kind of blindsided me. And that really rattled me for the first time ever in my business, because we weren't just business partners and it wasn't just about business. We were really, really good friends, and we had become like best friends since starting the business. And I dwelled on that for a long time. I honestly just questioned myself. I doubted everything that I did. Why am I not a good enough leader to have led her? What did I do wrong? How could I have done things differently? How could I have kept her? Because she was a rock star. And I just really allowed that to crush me for too long. Like, I'm not even kidding. I cried for 3 days. I didn't get out of bed, and I just cried because I was so hurt, because it was just personal to me. I mean, and her and I are still great friends. I mean, there's no hard feelings between us at all. I just quickly had to realize I have to get over this. Like you said, I have to, I can't let this affect my business. I can't let this affect the way that I'm working my business and who I talk to, because I was scared to talk to people. I was scared of the rejection. Okay, well, what if they sign up, and what if they quit on me again? What if I'm not strong enough to lead them? And I really struggled with that for a little while. But like I said, I kind of kicked my own butt, and I started, just pushing, and I used it as a motivation to work my business. And like I said, I don't know, these power hours have helped me even more, step out of that comfort zone. And just really, I just got to think that I have to share this opportunity with people. I just can't sit on it and just wait for them to come to me. Maybe one day, I might be passing up my leader right there. So, yeah, I just kind of had to get over it. It stung real bad, but I mean, I had to get over it, and it's really hard to do sometimes, especially when it's personal. But I'm really happy for my friend, and like I said, there's no hard feelings between us, but I just had to get over it. So, I mean, that was our last question.
Okay, well, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch this. I know there's only a couple people on, but we have recorded this, so we're going to post it so that you guys can all watch it. And we've been on for an hour, so we should probably stop because people start getting bored listening. But thank you guys so much for having me, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening.
Thank you so much, Skylar. We really appreciate you doing this. I love you. You're the bomb.
Love you. Bye.